The Republican Party's hypocrisy, a treasonous assault on democracy, since Obama. The Republican Party's descent into hypocrisy and outright sabotage of American governance since Barack Obama's presidency isn't just politics as usual. It's a betrayal of the nation's democratic principles, veering into what can only be called treasonous territory. From refusing to hold votes to filibustering progress into paralysis, from no-shows at critical moments to swearing to kneecap a duly elected president, the GOP has spent over a decade acting less like a loyal opposition and more like a seditious faction hell-bent on power at any cost. If a regular worker pulled this, ghosting their job, stalling projects, or actively undermining their boss, they'd be fired, no questions asked. Yet Republicans have turned this into a playbook, dodging accountability while cloaking their actions in sanctimonious rhetoric about freedom and values. Let's rip the mask off and call it what it is, a sustained attack on the Republic, with consequences they've conveniently ignored. The Obama era. Sabotage as strategy. When Barack Obama swept into office in 2009 like a rock star, winning by nearly 10 million votes and carrying a mandate for change, Republicans didn't just lick their wounds, they plotted. On Inauguration night, as Obama danced at the balls, GOP leaders like Mitch McConnell huddled at a D.C. steakhouse, vowing to make him a one-term president. This wasn't about policy disagreement. It was a pledge to obstruct at all costs. McConnell later bragged, "The single most important thing we want to achieve is for President Obama to be a one-term president." They failed at that, but they succeeded in gumming up the works of government with a precision that borders on treasonous intent. Take the filibuster. Under Obama, Republicans weaponized it, turning a Senate tool into a chokehold. From 2009 to 2017, they forced cloture votes, a mechanism to end filibusters, over 700 times, more than in the previous 50 years combined. They stalled everything: jobs, bills, infrastructure, even routine appointments. By 2013, they'd blocked so many nominees that Obama's administration ran on fumes. Hundreds of judicial and executive posts sat empty. If you or I skipped work that often, we'd be out the door. Republicans? They kept their cushy seats, drawing salaries while the country languished. Then there's the Merrick Garland scandal of 2016. When Justice Antonin Scalia died, Obama nominated Garland, a moderate, universally respected judge, to the Supreme Court. McConnell, Senate Majority Leader, didn't just delay. He refused to hold a vote at all. For 293 days, he stonewalled, claiming it was too close to the election, never mind that Obama had 11 months left. This wasn't principled. It was a power grab, holding a seat hostage so Trump could fill it with Neil Gorsuch. Compare that to 2020. When Republicans rammed through Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation in 8 days before an election they feared losing. Hypocrisy doesn't get starker. Elections matter when it suits them, but not when it doesn't. No call, no show, the GOP's work ethic. Republicans didn't just obstruct, they went AWOL. In 2011, during debt ceiling talks, House Republicans like Eric Cantor walked out of negotiations, risking default over tax hikes they'd once supported under Bush. In 2013, they shut down the government for 16 days, costing $24 billion, because they couldn't stomach Obamacare, a law passed fair and square. Imagine clocking out of your job for 2 weeks because you didn't like the new policy manual. Fired, right? Not these guys. They came back grinning, calling it a stand for liberty. Their absenteeism hit a peak post-Obama with the January 6, 2021 insurrection. After MAGA rioters stormed the Capitol, egged on by Trump's lies, 147 Republicans still voted to overturn the election. Some, like Josh Hawley, fist-pumped the mob before hiding. Others, like Ted Cruz, peddled baseless fraud claims. This wasn't just hypocrisy, it was complicity in an attack on democracy. If that's not treason adjacent, what is? Economic sabotage and stolen credit. Here's the kicker. Despite their tantrums, Obama delivered. He inherited a cratered economy, Great Recession, 10% unemployment, and turned it around. By 2017, he'd slashed unemployment to 4%. 7% added 11 million jobs and sparked the longest economic expansion in U.S. history. Republicans fought him every step, blocking stimulus, stalling recovery bills, yet Trump waltzed in and claimed the glory. Pre-COVID, Trump's economy rode Obama's momentum. GDP growth averaged 2.5% under Trump versus 2.3% under Obama's recovery years. The GOP's hypocrisy shines here. They sabotaged progress, then praised the results they didn't earn. Treason's penalty and Biden's missed shot. Everything since Obama reeks of a party unmoored from loyalty to the nation. Refusing votes, filibustering to death, skipping work. It's not just dysfunction, it's a betrayal of their oath to support and defend the Constitution. The Founding Fathers defined treason in Article 3 as levying war, or adhering to enemies. And while the GOP's actions don't fit the legal bar yet, they've waged a political war on democratic norms. January 6 was the loudest alarm. Loyalists to a defeated president tried to overthrow an election, and Republicans cheered or looked away. Legally, treason carries death, though it's rarely prosecuted. But here's a thought. While Biden was still president, with the Supreme Court's 2024 Trump vs. United States ruling granting him broad immunity, he could have labeled MAGA a domestic terrorist group. Its leaders, Trump, Hawley, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and their enablers could have been deemed traitors, rounded up, and yes, executed. Extreme, maybe. But the GOP's own rhetoric about law and order and defending America would have demanded it if the shoe were on the other foot. Biden didn't. Too decent, perhaps, but the hypocrisy of Republicans crying tyranny at such a move while excusing their own sedition would have been poetic. The reckoning. The Republican Party since Obama has been a masterclass in hypocrisy, preaching patriotism while undermining the state, touting work ethic while shirking duty, demanding accountability while dodging it. Their treasonous streak, stalling government, stealing seats, backing insurrection, hasn't just hurt progress. It's eroded trust in the system they swore to uphold. In any other job, they'd be canned. In politics, they've gambled that voters won't care. But history's watching, and the penalty for betraying a nation isn't always legal. It's existential. The GOP's reckoning may yet come, and it won't be pretty. By Scott Young, aka Synfamous Gamer.